Imagine this. You wake up one morning and realize that most of the faces you once depended on are now only memories. The children you raised have their own worlds. The friends you once laughed with are either gone or too weak to visit. The house that once echoed with voices now holds silence that feels heavier than any noise. It is in this quiet that many people above 70 begin to feel an invisible truth. The family you thought would be your forever home slowly becomes a faraway echo. But that is not something to mourn. It is something to awaken to. Because beyond that emptiness hides a new kind of peace. The kind that does not rely on anyone else. The kind that is built by your own hands, your own choices, and your own heart. Real happiness after 70 does not come from expecting others to fill your life. It comes from choosing to fill it yourself. You do not need to depend on family, on children, or on anyone who is too busy to understand your silence. You need to depend on 5 quiet yet powerful things that never leave you. Things that stand by your side when everyone else fades into distance. Things that give you strength, meaning, and peace that cannot be taken away. The first is your health. Not perfect health, just enough health to move, breathe, and feel alive each day. The truth is, the body is your last loyal companion. Family may visit once a month, but your body is with you every second. Treat it well, feed it well, let it move. A study from Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health followed adults in their 70s and 80s and found that those who walked for just 30 minutes a day reduced their risk of heart disease and early death by almost 30%. Movement, even simple movement, acts as a message to your body that life still matters. It keeps your mind sharp and your spirit awake. And when your spirit is awake, loneliness cannot root itself deeply. Food, too, becomes medicine at this age. Research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society revealed that seniors who ate a diet rich in vegetables, fruits, nuts, and whole grains had significantly better cognitive health and emotional balance. You do not need expensive supplements or exotic diets. You just need color on your plate. Green from leafy vegetables, orange from carrots, red from tomatoes, yellow from turmeric. Every color is a form of life entering your system, reminding you that the world still wants you to live. But health is not only what you eat or how you move, it is also how you rest. Many seniors underestimate the power of sleep, treating it as something unimportant. Yet the National Institute on Aging confirms that good sleep is directly linked to a lower risk of memory loss and depression. Sleep repairs not only your body but also your emotions. It resets your patience, your calmness, and your will to face the next morning. So never feel guilty for resting. Rest is not laziness, it is quiet strength. The second thing to rely on is your mind. Your mind is the engine that keeps life meaningful when the body slows down. Many people over 70 stop learning because they think their time to grow has ended. But according to a study by the University of California, learning new skills in old age can increase memory function and happiness by nearly 30%. The brain loves to be challenged. Learn to play an instrument. Read something new. Write down your stories. Even small efforts build new neural connections that keep your mind young and alive. Your thoughts shape your world more than any person ever could. If you fill your mind with gratitude, your days become lighter. If you feed it with bitterness, your days become heavy. It is simple but true. The way you talk to yourself is the foundation of your peace. Tell yourself every morning that you are not old. You are just seasoned. You are not forgotten. You are free. These words are not empty comfort. They are powerful instructions to your brain. Neuroscience research from the University of Wisconsin found that people who practiced daily positive affirmations had lower stress hormones and stronger immune responses. The mind does not just think. It creates reality through every thought it repeats. The third thing you must rely on after 70 is purpose. When work ends and children move away, many seniors lose their reason to wake up. Yet purpose is not something that retires. It only changes shape. It becomes smaller, simpler, and quieter. Maybe it is tending a small garden. Maybe it is taking care of a stray animal that waits for you every morning. Maybe it is mentoring a young neighbor or volunteering at a school. A long-term study published in the Lancet Healthy Longevity showed that the process of cognitive organizing fascinates a daily feeling and all fears of goodness, doubtless. Purpose literally gives your brain and heart a reason to keep going. It tells your body, I still have work to do. Even in silence, purpose can be found. Think about this. Every person you meet carries some small struggle. You, with your years and wisdom, can become a quiet anchor for them. A few kind words, a small act of help. These may seem tiny, but they echo far beyond your sight. Sometimes, your greatest purpose is not what you do for yourself, but what you give without expecting anything in return. That kind of giving feeds the soul in ways no family gathering ever could. The fourth thing to rely on is connection. Not family connection, but human connection. The kind that comes from shared stories, laughter, and simple company. Research from the National Institute on Aging found that loneliness increases the risk of death by 45% in older adults. That is higher than smoking or obesity. Humans are social creatures. We are wired to need warmth from others. But that warmth does not have to come from children or relatives. It can come from neighbors, community groups, walking clubs, or even small local gatherings. Join something, anything. A group that sings, a class that paints, a park bench conversation circle. These connections may seem small, but they fill your emotional lungs with fresh air. They remind you that you still belong somewhere. The happiness that comes from community is not noisy. It is gentle. It hums softly in the background of your life, giving you energy to keep moving. If stepping out feels difficult, start with small gestures. Greet the person who sells you vegetables. Wave at the child playing down the street. Give compliments. Ask questions. One smile can open more doors than 1,000 words. Over time, you will notice that the world begins to smile back. Studies from the University of Michigan show that even small social interactions like these trigger the release of oxytocin, a hormone that lowers stress and increases feelings of safety and warmth. Connection does not require family. It requires heart. And finally, the fifth thing to rely on is peace itself. Peace is not something you find. It is something you learn to create. It comes from accepting that life is no longer about what you lost, but about what remains. At 70, 80, or 90, peace is the most valuable thing you can own. You build it by forgiving those who forgot you. You protect it by letting go of what no longer serves you. Spend time in quiet. Listen to your own breath. Feel your pulse. Remember that you have survived everything life threw your way. Every storm, every betrayal, every goodbye. You made it here. That alone is proof that you are stronger than loneliness. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that mindfulness and meditation lower blood pressure, improve focus, and reduce anxiety, even in people above 70. You do not need to sit cross-legged or chant. Just breathe with awareness for 10 minutes a day. Feel the air enter and leave. That simple act connects you with the present moment, where peace always waits. Peace also grows when you simplify. Too many possessions, too many worries, too many memories of what used to be can weigh you down. Let them go. Give away what you no longer use. Keep only what brings warmth or usefulness. Studies from Princeton University's Neuroscience Institute confirm that a clutter-free environment reduces stress and improves focus. When your surroundings are calm, your mind becomes calm too. These 5 things, health, mind, purpose, connection, and peace, are the true pillars of happiness after 70. They do not rely on anyone else. They rely on your will to keep living meaningfully. And the beauty is, each one supports the others. When you move your body, your mind becomes clearer. When your mind is clear, your purpose deepens. When you live with purpose, you connect naturally with others. And when you connect, peace follows. It all flows in a quiet circle that sustains itself. Now, think about the family you once depended on. They are not villains for drifting away. They are just living their own lives, just as you once lived yours. Let them go without resentment. Expecting them to feel your loneliness is like expecting yesterday to return. It will not. But that does not mean joy is gone. It means you are being invited to rediscover it through your own strength. You might say, but it is hard to start at this age. Yes, it is. But everything worth doing begins with a small, hard step. When you were young, you learned to walk by falling again and again. You learned to speak by trying. This is no different. The only difference is that now you are walking toward yourself, and that path is the most meaningful one you will ever take. If you can, start tomorrow morning. Before you speak to anyone, look at yourself in the mirror and smile. It might feel strange at first, but that smile is not for appearance. It is a message to your soul that you are still here and that you still matter. Then eat something healthy. Step outside for a short walk. Talk to one person. Say thank you for one thing. That is all it takes to begin building your new life, one gentle brick at a time. Do not measure your worth by how often your phone rings or how many people visit you. Measure it by how peaceful you feel when you are alone. Measure it by how deeply you sleep, by how softly you smile, by how calmly you handle the day. That is real success at this stage of life. Remember, you do not need anyone after 70. You only need to wake up each day and care for the things that truly belong to you. Your body, your mind, your purpose, your connections, and your peace. These are the companions that will never abandon you. They will not forget your birthday. They will not judge your past. They will not move to another city. They will stay with you until your very last breath. There will be moments when loneliness still knocks. Let it, sit with it, talk to it kindly. Tell it that you understand its visit, but that it cannot stay long because your house is already full. Full of gratitude, full of purpose, full of quiet love for life itself. As you move through your days, something beautiful begins to happen. The world around you starts to mirror your inner calm. The sun feels warmer, the air feels gentler. Even ordinary sounds, the chirp of a bird, the clink of a teacup, begin to sound like music. That is not magic, that is awareness. The more you focus on what you still have, the more your heart begins to glow with a steady, golden peace. So, live for yourself now. Not selfishly, but consciously. You spent decades living for others. You raised them, helped them, forgave them, worried for them. You have earned the right to now live gently for you, to listen to your own needs, to care for your own heart. Because in the end, happiness is not something others give you. It is something you choose every single morning. When you drink your tea slowly, when you stretch your body, when you speak kindly to yourself, when you take a slow walk under the evening sky, these tiny acts of living are what make life full. After 70, peace is not in grand adventures or constant company. It is in moments of clarity where you realize you need no one to complete you. You are already whole. You always were. You simply forgot because you were busy caring for everyone else. Now it is time to return to yourself. You do not need anyone after 70. You only need to rely on the 5 things that never leave you: your health, your mind, your purpose, your connection with life, and your peace. Protect them like treasures. Nurture them like children, because they will walk beside you when everyone else fades into memory. And one day, when you sit quietly watching the sunset, you will understand that the peace you searched for all your life was never hiding in other people. It was waiting in you all along.